Yo, what is going on, everybody? Caveman Jack back for another album reaction / review. We are back live from the studio. Yo, hopefully you guys are having an awesome week. Now, I just had a shower, so it looks like I've slicked my hair back, but it kind of funnily it fits into the occasion here because we are finally returning to the world of the Arctic Monkeys. Now, a band I checked out from their latest work. I checked out The Car. Man, it feels like ages ago, and it was such a fun ride. I love that album. Easily some of my favorite songs that I heard from 2022 were on that album. Now, I then moved on to Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. That is right, Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. Hopefully, man, I always get that wrong. That was another wild dive into their discography. Then I finally checked out their commercial hit album AM, which was a hell of a lot of fun. The ballads on AM really hit me, and also the hits are hits, for a reason. So it was fun to actually check them out properly and hear all the dynamics that were involved in those songs that made them so popular. And till this day, and probably forever, they'll be hits. So I know it's been a while, but I'm finally returning to the Arctic Monkeys with the following album prior to AM, Suck It and See. What a album title, Suck It and See. Even the cover art, let's just chuck it up. The cover art is just bold, straight to the point, Suck It and See. Now, I'm really interested to see what kind of sounds we get on this. I mean, I'm aware that Arctic Monkeys, as we get earlier into their discography, become a much more rocky sound. So is Suck It and See going to have more of that rocky sound? I'm not sure, but let's get into it. This is Suck It and See. Suck It and See, mate. What an album title, mate. What is going on there?
She's thunderstorms lying on her front, up against the wall. She's thunderstorms.
Heavy intro.
I've been feeling foolish, you should try it. She came and substituted the peace and quiet, cheating heartbeat, rapid fire. Cycle boots give me this kind of acrobatic blood. She's thunderstorms in an unusual place when you're feeling far away. She does what the night does to the day.
She's Thunderstorms, a heavy start to the album. I feel on that song there was a lot going on. I felt at times that the mix was really heavy, and sometimes the vocals were a little bit quiet. I'm not sure if it's just the mix I'm hearing, but I wasn't able to feel the real impact of Alex's kind of vocal takes at times, just because I feel like the mix, there was so much going on, and it took me out of it at times. I'm not one who generally falls into the heavier, rockier sounds straight away. So they quite often take me a little bit of time to process because there's so many different tracks generally, that can be quite, they demand your attention or demand your ears. So that one there is a track I will have to go back to. On a first listen, I was a bit lost in the mix, but let's keep it going.
Lately I've been seeing things, belly button piercings in the sky at night. And I don't mean to rain on anybody's cabriolet. One of those games you're gonna lose, but you wanna play it just in case. Now it's getting dark and the sky looks sticky, more like black treacle than tar. Does it help you stay up late? Does it help you concentrate? And you talk the talk already, but do you walk the walk or catch the train? You wanted it, you got it, but you don't want it now. Now I'm out of place and I'm not getting any wiser. I feel like the Sundance Kid behind a synthesizer, and I tried last night to pack away a laugh like a key under the mat, but it never seems to be there when you want it. Black treacle, black treacle.
Again, continuing with that heavier sound, got a couple of things to point out for that song. What is Black Treacle? Let me know in the comments. What is Black Treacle? I have no idea. Secondly, one thing that I'm going to find really, really interesting is starting with the car. Very jazzy, rockier. If we compare the car to Suck It and See, feels like very, very different albums. Now, for someone to hear that work, for me to hear that work first, it's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to take a little bit of an adjustment period for me to kind of recognize, all right, this is the same band. This is the kind of sound that they were more well known for a large period of their discography. Whereas, the jazzier sounds have kind of come into play a little bit later in the discography. So that's another thing to take note of. I think it will take a little bit of adjusting, because I love the sounds that we hear on the car, as well as Tranquility Base, Hotel and Casino. Those sounds really connect with me. Now, these rockier sounds are going to take a little bit more time to adjust to and adapt to, I reckon. I like that one a bit more than She's Thunderstorms, just because it felt a little bit more melodic. I tend to enjoy melodic sounding rock sounds more than just the kind of punchier ones. I felt like Black Treacle had a little bit more instrumentation to play with as well, which I enjoyed. I liked how playful that song was. It kept that same kind of fast-paced energy as She's Thunderstorms, but I felt like it captured a little bit more of what I like about the Arctic Monkeys a bit more. Man, it's so trippy hearing this real rockier sound, man.
I wanna break you down. I'm gonna reconstruct. I wanna feel your love. Break by break. I wanna steal brick by brick. Brick by brick.
Yeah, so easily the most rockiest album I've heard from the Arctic Monkeys so far. Brick by brick. I really think I enjoyed the slow down bridge section of the song. I think it really added to my listening experience. I think I enjoyed the song. It wasn't blowing me away, but it was nice. It was cool to hear, that little playful brick by brick. It was working for me. But I think that slowed down bridge section really added a lot to my listening experience. I felt like that change of pace was done really tastefully, really nicely. And I think it just added that last bit to the song that I think would have really kind of created it as a whole. Rocky sounds, man. Every track so far, punchy, bang. Like some of the electric guitars just sounding fantastic. Really just, it just demands your attention. It really does. The Hellcat Spangled Shalalala. Feel good sound this one. Nice little bass guitar in the back.
Just when things are getting complicated in the eye of the storm, she flicks a red hot revelation off the tip of her tongue. Shalalala, 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 shalalala. Home sweet home, home sweet booby trap. I took the batteries out my mysticism and put them in my thinking cap. She's got
Opening and closing the hi-hat there. Nice.
hanging up on the wall. And in a Hellcat Spangled cavern, when your judgment's on the run, and you're acting like a stranger, 'cause you thought it looked like fun, singing another fucking shalalala,
Yeah, feel good song.
shalalala, shalalala.
I think that's my favorite track on the album so far. It had a really feel good sound to it. The guitars weren't as aggressive. And look, this is just speaking to my tastes, so I understand that different songs on this album will taper or to different people and different sounds that people appreciate. I just liked that one. Felt very summery, very feel good, very concert festival like. I feel like that song would do amazing at shows. I think I connected with it because it's summer here in Australia, so you wouldn't tell by the studio, but it is currently 31 degrees outside. So it's I don't know. I think it's also sometimes when you're listening to music for the first time, it is a reflective of the environment and state of the year. And at the moment, we're in our summer, we're in our feel good, time. So it's like I hear songs like that and I go, yo, this is the right kind of vibe for what we're doing right now, Don't sit down because I've moved your chair. Righto.
Break a mirror, roll the dice, run with scissors through a chip and firefight, go into business with a grizzly bear.
That would be crazy.
But just don't sit down 'cause I've moved your chair.
Don't Sit Down Because I Moved Your Chair was an incredibly tough banger. That one was just that hit all the right notes. Like, imagine that at a concert, everyone's belting it, just a good vibe. Like, I liked how dark the sounds were in that song, and even his vocal performance, Alex's vocal performance, was very much like very gritty and just had that darker element to it. And I think all those elements, they matched and created a really great 3-minute banger that's just tough as hell. Bang. All right, here we go.
Library pictures of the quickening canoe.
Bass guitar's going to town.
The first of its kind to get to the moon. Trust some ellipses to chase you round the room. Through curly strolls and metaphors and quickening canoe, the first of its kind to get to the moon. Give me an meeny, miny, moe. Or an dip, dog shit, rock and roll.
This is just a lot. Like, just this is Arctic Monkeys, man. This is just bang. This is just so high energy. Like I said earlier, this is just something to adjust to. Like, man, it's such an interesting shift when you compare it to the Car, then Suck It and See. Wow. Huge difference here in the type of sounds and energy and the composition of these songs. So it's like a bit jarring. It is jarring, but it's fun. That's why it's cool to hear a band that is going through different changes, because as a listener, you put yourself in the position of the audience as they go from each album and going like, wow, what the heck? Like, you're following along. You kind of get a little bit of a similar feeling that the fans get when they would listen to the album as it would come out and go, oh, wow, So yeah, again, just high energy, man. Just balls to the wall, hectic, man. Got a bit of like a Wild West feel to it, Got a bit of Night to Sindonia as well. Some of the guitar sounds. Hectic sounds, man. Just bang.
Topless models doing semaphore, wave their flags as she walks by and get ignored. Illuminations on a rainy day, when she walks her footsteps sing a reckless serenade. I've been trying to figure out exactly what it is I need. Called up to listen to the voice of reason and got the answering machine. I left my message, but did he forget back to me? And now I'm stuck still wondering how it's meant to be. Singing a reckless serenade, reckless serenade, reckless serenade, reckless serenade.
I feel like that is the closest we're going to get to a slower ballad. That's the slowest kind of song I think we're going to get on Suck It and See.
I etched the face of a stopwatch on the back of a raindrop and did a swap for the sand in an hourglass. You look like you've been for breakfast at the Heartbreak Hotel and sat in the back booth by the pamphlets and the literature on how to lose. Your waitress was miserable, and so was your food. If you're gonna try and walk on water, make sure you wear your comfortable shoes. I heard the news that you're planning to shoot me out of a cannon. I heard the Piledriver Waltz, it woke me up this morning. Look like you've been for breakfast at the Heartbreak Hotel and sat in the back booth by the pamphlets and the literature on how to lose. Your waitress was miserable, and so was your food. If you're gonna try and walk on water, make sure you wear your comfortable shoes. Oh,
So, for those who have been watching the channel for a while, I say it a lot, but I'm a sucker for ballads. I'm a sucker for slower, emotive pieces. They really just hook me in. I'm always going to give music a go, different genres, different sounds. That's what that's what the channel is. That's what I like to do. And so most of this album has been quite jarring because it's very different to what I know of the Arctic Monkeys. As I mentioned, starting from the car and going backwards is a unique way of listening to the Arctic Monkeys, I think. I'm glad I'm doing it that way because it's, just giving me a different feel working my way back through the discography. With Radiohead, I started, a kid A, but I went back and went all my way through to the present day whereas the Arctic Monkeys were doing the reverse, which is an interesting. Piledriver Waltz is much more the sound that I love from the Arctic Monkeys. That melodic sound, the really swoony sounding electric guitar. The dynamics on that song really worked for a ballad-like sound. And that's the stuff that I love from the Arctic Monkeys. Now, that's not to say that I don't like the other stuff, because I still think it's thrashy, it's good, it's got a fun feeling to it. But if I had to choose between the two types of sounds, that's the kind of sound that I prefer. So yeah, I am glad we got a kind of song like that on the album. I know we still got a couple more tracks, but it's been such an interesting lesson and dive into this part of their discography as we now evolve into their more rockier era. But yeah, that one was that's a good song. That was a good song. I love how Alex can really float over these instrumentals. Just these slower ones, he nails it, man. Love is a Laserquest. Oh.
Do you still feel younger than you thought you would by now? Or darling, have you started feeling old yet? Don't worry, I'm sure that you're still breaking hearts with the efficiency that only youth can harness. And do you look into the mirror to remind yourself you're there, or has somebody's goodnight kisses got that covered? Well, I'm not being honest, I pretend that you were just some lover. Now I can't think of there without thinking of you. I doubt that comes as a surprise.
It's funny, we play back to about halfway through the album, and I said, I feel like that is the closest we're going to get to a slower ballad. That's the slowest kind of song I think we're going to get on Suck It and See. Man, I don't think we're going to get any ballads on this album. It's just going to be rock songs, really, I should have waited to the end of the album, Jackie, because we've just had two much more slower pieces, much more kind of my sound that I really like. I really like the story he was telling there, Alex. Just kind of trying to. This is this girl that's had this effect on him. He's wondering if she's still breaking hearts. He's trying to find ways to just view her as just a lover, but those memories remain, and she remains much more to him. But yeah, I like that. I like that kind of swoony ballad. I just said it in the last track, but to have two songs back to back on an album where I wasn't expecting to get any ballads really, has been nice. I'm selfishly saying that I do like. I'm glad we're hearing some more ballads, but it's a bit like AM, to be honest, because AM was quite heavy for the most part, and then about 3/4 in, we had. We turned back to two tracks that were much more ballad-like, and I feel like this album's done the same. We started with relatively heavier project for the most part, and now we've had two ballads back to back. So it's interesting that it's occurred both albums now, both AM and now this one. Right, so now we have the title track, Suck It and See. I really wonder what this song is going to sound like. With a song title like that, it's going to be very interesting. That's for sure.
Your love is like a studded leather headlock.
Okay.
Your kiss, it could put creases in the rain. You're rarer than a can of dandelion and burdock. And those other girls are just post-mix lemonade. Suck it and see you never know. Sit next to me before I go. I poured my aching heart into a pop song. I couldn't get the hang of poetry. That's not a skirt, girl, that's a sawn off shotgun. And I can only hope you've got it aimed at me. Suck it and see you never know. Sit next to me before I go. Girls from once upon a Shangri-La. How I often wonder where you are. Jigsaw women with Halloween shoes. Be cruel to me, 'cause I'm a fool for you.
Suck It and See. Really, one characteristic of the Arctic Monkeys music that is really fun is the playful lyricism and just quirky lyricism that Alex can sometimes throw in a song. And that one, Suck It and See, had some fun lyricism. Is that a skirt? No, it's a sawn off shotgun. And then he revolves it around and say, I hope you're aiming it at me though. It's just little visual quirky lyrics that can really engage you in the song. Sometimes it can take you out because you kind of like start laughing. But in the case of Suck It and See, I feel like it's just a really nice sound. A little bit more up-tempo than the last two tracks, but still quite melodic and a far cry from what we were hearing on the early parts of this album. So we're on the final track now. Interesting ride Suck It and See has been. Is it going to be a banger, loud, thrashy rock outro, or are we going to play this one out with another ballad? Who knows?
Pussyfooting, setting sun. Make a wish that weighs a ton. Jealousy in technicolor. Fear by name, love by number. Street lamp pounder, wanderlust, powder in it.
Suck It and See. It's not my favorite Arctic Monkeys album, but in saying that, I just love this band, so I can, any chance I can to sink more into the discography, I will like most of their work at this point. So just because it's not my favorite album from them so far doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy the project. Like I said a couple of times, those heavier rock sounds, they take more time for me to fall into just because of the kind of sounds that I generally have listened to most of my life. So to hear the early parts of that album being very heavy as opposed to what I was used to hearing from Arctic Monkeys was a bit jarring, I won't lie. But I feel like there were some really special moments and some points that I will definitely return to. I think it's the type of album that you got to give more time to sink your teeth into it, just to really see if there are sounds that you missed on a first listen, just because it can be quite demanding, the different sounds, because they are loud, it's thrashy, whereas songs like Reckless Serenade, Piledriver Waltz, Love is a Laserquest, Suck It and See, I was able to fall into a little bit more just because they were, I think, a little easier than, some of the heavier tracks. Now, in saying that, Don't Sit Down Because I've Moved Your Chair was a banger, and it was a loud banger, but I could fall into that one quite easily. I can also see here that is one of the more popular tracks off the album. That one was dark, heavy, just hit all the right notes. Some rocky sounds, some heavy sounds hit me automatically, So when I listen to Muse, a lot of those heavier songs hit me straight away. But there's been points where I've listened to the Radiohead projects and the heavier songs have taken more time for me to fall into. So I feel like that's going to probably be the case with some of these later Arctic Monkeys projects as they dive into more of that sound in their earlier work. Really, really interesting project. Again, really cool to see them, how they've transitioned backwards. I think it's a really fun project doing it that way, going back from their latest work. Let me know what you guys think of Suck It and See. Such a random ass album title. I love it. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic week. If you are keen to see any more of my Arctic Monkeys reactions, I've listened to their latest 3 albums. And now Suck It and See. Humbug is the next project we will be checking out. Hopefully, I always say it, but hopefully it won't take too long between albums. I know. I'm taking ages to get to each project, but hopefully it won't take too long. Fingers crossed. But hopefully you guys have a fantastic week. Appreciate you checking out the video. And if you liked it and want to see more, hit the subscribe button and join the community. That was Suck It and See by the Arctic Monkeys. My name is Caveman Jack, and I will see y'all in the next video. Cheers.